Hey y'all, it's Twisty.
Be fresh.
And we have recently saw the new Spider movie, the Amazing Spiderman. I think that's correct.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken. With the new Spider-Man, not Toby.
This one's name is Andrew Garfield.
Very British sounding.
Because he's very British.
Yeah, so. Just as a side note, apparently there are no teenagers left in America that are actors or actresses because everyone that's now in high school has to be in their 20s or 30s. So
either you stupid or you just so super smart you went backwards and went back to high school.
Right. So none of these people that are playing teenagers are teenagers. So if you're born in the 80s, you are no longer a teenager. I'm sorry.
No, if you're born in the 80s, you are a teenager. That's the thing.
Well, you should realize you aren't one. But
that's what he was trying to say.
But
Hollywood thinks you're still a teenager.
Right. So apparently you can still play the age between the ages of 15 and 19, even if you are 45. So once you hit 46, you can't.
Sorry.
The 45 is cut off line. But anyway, this movie, in comparison to the other Spider-Mans, I mean, that's really what this whole thing is about, is how does it compare and stand up to the other Spider-Man movies, and then how does it stand as a movie by itself? Well, how does it compare? I think that it does do well. I was very interested in the story. I was invested, even though I hate to say it was something I've seen before, but I think it's just because I've seen the other Spider-Man.
So. No, I mean, but it, it still held my interest.
I enjoyed it. It was
more of an origin story.
It was a super origin story. So,
but yeah, you got to see a lot of things that you don't necessarily think about, or that they answered the questions that you always think about, like what the heck is he swinging on to when he's flying through the city?
Yeah, they finally answered that question because so many times we always think these are the tallest buildings in the world. And they extend beyond the sky, and Spider-Man can just latch upon them. It's just talent.
He's latching on a cloud,
right? After a while, so it was nice that they actually approached this issue that hey, I need something to swing on.
There you go.
So that was the initial bite story. So it's, okay, he has to be bit by a spider, but the spider's a little different now. It's still radioactive or genetically engineered or something like that.
Genetically engineered spider,
but still the basic story is the same. I mean, all know that Uncle Ben is going to die. If I just ruined the movie for some people, then you've never
seen Spider-Man.
Right. So I'm sorry, you don't know anything about it. So if that was the big ruining moment for you, then I'm sorry. Whatever. I would say that it was very enjoyable. The actors were actually really well. There's a few things I always question. Where's Mary Jane? I mean, but some of this stuff I wonder. Do I just know more about Spider-Man once he goes to college and I don't know much about his high school life? Or is this just, they're trying to give a different approach to it and a different reading to it. And so they decided to add in characters that may not be familiar. I don't know if Stacy,
Gwen Stacy.
Gwen Stacy is actually, from the original Gwen from not that familiar. So I don't know. But if she is, then she did fine. If she isn't, then she was an addition that didn't irritate me. Flash, of course, had to be there.
He apparently is old.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm still on this kick that you have to be at least in your late 20s to play a teenager.
Right. I don't understand. It's actually very irritating because I know that you're wanting an older person because they will act better, but I mean, don't put them in high school. Put them in college. I'll believe any age as long as you're putting them in college. I don't care.
Yeah,
but if you put them in high school, but then again, with Flash really went to college, you wonder, maybe on a sports scholarship. Anyway, I think the movie had some nice playback, especially for his parents. I thought that was a nice addition because there's always a lot of mystery around Peter Parker's parents about what they did and how they're related, and it cleared up a lot of things. It left enough mystery where there's still a mystery, but it cleared up a lot of things that were just like, I don't even know crap about your parents, you know.
Right.
So,
but I think it was also a good story for people who actually aren't that familiar with Spider-Man. So you actually get to get his origin story. You get to uh, this is your first time finding out that he was didn't have parents with him. You get to figure out what happened to his parents or whatever. And so it was very, 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 very
thorough.
Yeah, and well put. Actually, it was well put together. The time limit didn't annoy me as much as Medea.
And Medea was shorter.
Uh,
So, but then again, I think after a while, comedy can only last like an hour and something, and then you see.
yeah.
Whereas a movie like this, you're really unfolding a story, and you're really evolving and letting the characters grow. See, the difference is when it's a 2-hour long movie, I expect some growth in the character. I expect some change in the character. And if there is no growth or change or evolving of a character, then there's no point for it to be 2 hours.
Right.
There was no point. So Peter does get that chance to grow and change and evolve and to become the Spider-Man that we know. It was kind of nice to see him at his low and see him at his high and all in one movie. So that was actually pretty well told. And then you come to find out that, is the Lizard the big bad? Because, I mean, if you don't realize the Lizard's the big bad from the previews, but if you don't think the Lizard, it's really not really the Lizard. I won't ruin it and tell you really who the big bad probably is, because like I said, it's kind of suspicion. But just, I'll say, wink, wink, pay attention to the company. And you might figure out that who really is the one pulling all the strings. So, I'm hoping that there will be a part 2 because from the way that it ends, that of course it's playing the credits. So I warn you, if you're going to go see the movie,
please stay for
the credits.
Yes,
because there's going to be a scene after that that's going to probably give you a little leeway. There's probably a part 2. So I'm hoping. I hope that it's going to be a nice little continuation of the story. We have the origin. Now we just kind of want to see him move forward. We have possibly cut the love of his life out of the movie, which I didn't say she dies, didn't say she lives. I'm just saying she's potentially cut from him. And so you're kind of curious to know what's going to be her role if there is a part 2.
Exactly. I want to know what's going to happen with that, Is she going to be like the new Mary Jane where she's constantly in and out of Peter's life, I mean, who knows?
And I'm kind of curious to know, kind of where some of the other characters that we are traditionally used to seeing in the Spider movies, Mary Jane, Harry, where are they, and what are they going to be their roles, possibly potentially in the next one. So, kind of curious to know what's going to happen next. But then again, we're all predicting that the hope there is going to be a next one. It may not be. I don't know. But I'm kind of hoping that there will be. I think that all the actors and actresses did very well with this movie, from Uncle Ben to
was played by Martin Sheen. Oops, sorry.
And then you got Sally Field playing Aunt May, which she did really well. Actually, she's a very good actress. I just feel she's a forgotten actress.
Yeah, because she doesn't act that much anymore. And I kind of miss her. She was really good.
Yeah, she was. I really believed her half the time. She's just so sad. But you always just feel, whoever plays Aunt May, you just always feel so sorry.
If you get a chance, go check out the Amazing Spider-Man with Emma Stone, Andrew Garfield, Sally Field, Martin Sheen, and
Garfield, half funny. But anyway, I would say this movie is a 4.5 or above. There really was no. It's a 4.5 to a 5. I have issue giving out a 5.
4.7.
Specifically because I can't remember any, but I don't remember any plot holes. I don't remember any issues that I really had with the movie. I would probably say it might actually get 5 stars, actually, because I really didn't see any major issues. There's probably some nerd geeks that's sitting around us thinking this is not the way the story is supposed to be told. So, I don't know, but for the average person like me who just really enjoys Marvel and is not about nitpicking, which I do love nitpicking. So if you found some stuff out, then hey, let me know. But who sometimes just goes in for the ride and really just enjoys the movie, it's fine. I think that you understand what's going on. They tell the story well. There's really no loose ends except for the ends they meant to leave loose, so that there could potentially be a part 2.
Which we're hoping.
So I'm really curious to know what's going to happen next. You know, now that he has been introduced as Spider-Man, he's kind of the city's hero. Of course, the police, you know, probably may like him, may hate him, you know. But that's usually the traditional thing with most superheroes as is. So, and it was a nice thing to do. They changed the webbing. It doesn't just magically sprout from him like they did in the Toby thing, which that kind of annoyed me, but I kind of appreciated it
because if he was a spider, it is going to magically sprout from
right, which was nice. But then again, you know, if you're familiar with the comic book or familiar with the TV series or anything like that, sometimes there are issues because of the fact that they actually are cartridges. Sometimes they may run out, sometimes they could get broke, sometimes they could be jammed. You know, they cause problems, and so that's a good thing because it causes conflict with the character. Whereas, you know, in the Toby one, there could never be an issue with the web. So, you know, with this one, you actually get to learn a little bit more accurately how the web is actually created and things like that. So it's a lot of little nice things that happen with this tale that really showcase. And it showcases highly intelligent kids. And then you got Flash, and so you know you kind of appreciate that because you know Peter Parker is supposed to be really smart. So and he hangs around really smart people. So I appreciate a lot of things that this movie has done and accomplished in comparison to other movies. I didn't really have issues with the Toby ones. I mean, some people did. Some people thought that the third one was the big screw up. They thought the first one was okay, but the second one was pretty good. And then they thought that the third one was just a big screw up. I didn't think the third one was a big screw up. I thought there was a little bit too much going on. Though I was entertained, it's just so much going on. You know, it's a little bit just jumbly. But I don't know, you have to bite the bullet every once in a while and just kind of go for the ride. Whereas with this one, I think that because it's so much less going on, that you can appreciate the movie as it unfolds in front of you. So,
yep.
Alright, just checking out y'all this Twisty.
Deep Fresh.
Make sure you check out the Amazing Spider-Man.